A little bit of news lately, post-Sandown, pre-Bathurst. Toyota. That's big.
Huge.
It's
Massive
big
news.
for the sport.
Absolutely massive.
Did anyone see it coming?
No, not at all. I'd never heard that in the whispers of the grapevine or anything like that, and I was ever so surprised. How about you,
They've
Garth?
always been talking about like a Kia or a Toyota coming in once we've gone to these generation cars, because that's why, in theory, we went to them. But it's interesting that Walkinshaw's the first to jump.
Probably not surprised if someone had said 6 months ago who's going to be the next.
Well, who's the second
homologation
team? Who's the second team?
Who's capable?
Good question.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Well, it'd have to be
we have answers
Grove
on
or
a
Tickfords. I
we
don't
have
know.
answers on a T-shirt, I reckon, in
yeah?
our pod right now.
Oh, yeah.
David
Toyota
Reynolds has got
forklift.
Toyota on his T-shirt.
Oh, sorry. You said who's going to be the second team
team.
of Toyota.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you were saying who could be another homologation team.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
The second
There's only
Toyota,
ever one
well.
homologating team.
Yeah, so Walkinshaws are the factory team, if you like. And
Yep.
they've said that they will pick a second team halfway through 25.
Is that
100% Dave's going to have a Land Cruiser company.
I think so.
25.
I was thinking more like
$100
I was
he looks like a
more
Stinger man.
Toyota. I was thinking more like a
Supra.
Toyota
a ring
Echo.
stinger?
Toyota
Supra.
Echo.
86 for you, Dave.
Yeah, yeah.
I have been enjoying the Fast and the Furious memes with like Ryan Walkinshaw and the Toyota Supra.
Yeah,
it's
right.
really funny.
So
I
is this
remember
good
when
for
you
our
were
sport?
young, you had that little RX-7, Dave. You picked me up one day and I didn't think I was going to make it home. He had the skeleton gear knob on it. And he was a Formula Ford kid. I'm like, he's like, let's go to dinner.
We went to
Oh, wow.
Frostbites, I remember.
Did we take you to Hungry Jack's?
Frostbites. Do you remember
As he's
Frostbites?
flat
Yeah,
shifting, I'm
there
just
you go.
looking at the gear stick, and Dave was having one of his excited little moments in the drizzle. I'm like, oh dear.
Yeah,
was
getting
rated
back
that
to your question, GT, yes, I think it's good for the sport because when we saw the other brands coming in, they actually, it was interesting to see the reaction before they came in and no one wanted it. They just wanted the traditional Ford, then Holden, GM. But when they did come in, everyone loved it. So I think Toyota coming into the sport. And the other interesting thing is on the weekend with the Singapore race, we had some representatives up there. So we could even be up there as well.
Really?
Absolutely.
Have you got news to break, Lowndes?
No, I know that some of our key supercars people were up that way, so
They are, yep.
it's a good little area for Toyota.
But if you could have
Supercars
picked
white shirters.
any manufacturer, like top of the pop, really.
Toyota would be
global.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one for years everyone's mentioned, and it was kind
Oh,
of
well,
one of
they're-
those that would never
They've got
happen,
like
but-
25% of the market in
the world's
Australia.
largest
so,
car
they're-
maker. The biggest sales in Australia. Like it's the big dog nowadays in Australian motoring. So they've been flirting with supercars for 20 years. So I think it actually will open the floodgates because if other manufacturers that are maybe casually looking at supercars go, wow, if Toyota after 20 years of looking at supercars have decided now's the time to jump in, there must be something in that. So I would imagine that there'll be corporate offices in Australia for other manufacturers revisiting their strategic plan with supercars on the back of Toyota's decision. Whether that leads to another manufacturer, I don't know, but they'll be certainly looking at it for sure because it's Toyota moves the market. Like they dictate the market.
They've got such a large percentage of it that they can dictate what they want.
so-
I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's a really good move.
No, I
and
think so
can't
too.
wait.
Are you, Dave, driving one of their products?
Yeah, Dave's really.
Well,
looking
no, I
forward
actually
to
drive
What engine are they
Silverado
using,
at the
Dave?
minute. I actually don't know anything about it. I only found this out last week.
it.
So
I think it's surprising that a pretty high-profile driver has left one of the Ford factory teams to go to what was at the time seemed to be a very small two-car operation. And maybe that he had some intel that maybe
I'm
there
going
was
to
a
pick
big,
brains here.
a big
Oh, you're
deal,
looking
a
at me.
big deal
I'm
in the
thinking, who are you
a
talking
big deal
about?
in the wind that maybe hey, if you come to our team, some good things are going to happen in the future.
I had absolutely no idea about it.
I wasn't talking about you, Reynolds.
Oh, you weren't? Okay.
Anyway,
I think that's,
so
are
that's
you, are
big.
you pointing at Anton there, are you?
Maybe.
Apparently,
maybe.
the engine's the same out of the NASCAR. It's going to be... Oh, sorry, Dakar car.
Yeah, no, it's a quad cam, 5 litre capacity engine. So very similar to the Ford engine.
How are the
in
Ford
its
engines going,
architecture.
by the way?
Well, maybe not the best at the moment.
Are they going to make Bathurst?
There will be Ford engines at Bathurst. Why are you asking this question, David
Well,
Reynolds?
because we've had a few failures recently.
Do you miss your Mustang from last year, though, Dave? Because it was going very well.
It was my Mustang was going awesome.
You
at
won
the end
some
of last
races.
year.
It was.
I was going
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed my time with Grove Racing and had a great time. And I'm driving a Chev now. It's all good.
Okay. Who's going to go look at the Supra at Bathurst? They'll have a concept or a mock-up of their
I'll have a look.
Gen 3 car there. Reynolds is going to have a look.
I'll have a look.
Is it going
Who's
up in your?
driving?
Is it going up in your truck?
No, it's not going up my truck. Is someone driving, or it's just
No,
like
it's just a mock.
Oh, okay,
It's probably,
sweet.
I think they're doing a full-size clay model of the car.
Because the actual
concept.
actual car is quite small, so they have to like stretch it, don't they, to make to a little bit to sort of make the
It's got Volvo
measurements.
S40 vibes about it.
Does it really?
Well,
I'm
they're
picturing
talking
that
about,
opening day.
talking about stretching cars over the
Driving that thing
Gen
at
3 wheelbase.
70% throttle for a few test days. You remember that?
What's that?
That's right. When you have one team with a new manufacturer, it's dangerous, you know.
Well, no, you'd have to argue that the testing
We're a lot
is
better
lot
this-
more rigid now. Obviously, with
Yeah, no,
tunnels and
100%
AVL
things
dynos
have
and-
improved. I'm just laughing at that opening day at SMP where I think, I'm not sure if Scott would actually admit this publicly, but I think he's like, yeah, mate, I was driving around at 70% throttle all day. I was catching people that much down the straight.
I've seen some data having driven for that.
Oh yeah, you did too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a lot of potential, that car.
That car sounded awesome. When they started up for the first time, I was like, Jesus, that sounds amazing.
The Merc sounded great.
That was a full stop right there.
No, it's a beautiful car. Good team.
Yeah.
Just joking. They were good. Actually, look back on that. I think someone just touched on that, where our sport's based on red versus blue. People come and crash the party. No one's happy until it's gone. And then it's like, oh, how good was the Volvo and the Merc and the
that's
Nissan?
right.
It
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
yeah. It was really cool.
fantastic.
Well, even now, like, I mean, Will and Dave are probably too young, but people retrospectively think about the Group C touring car era of Australian motorsport, the early to mid '80s. Like, oh, that was the golden era. And you look at the grid sizes, and there was 13 cars, and pole was 3 seconds faster than second, and all the rest of it. The cars were cool, but it wasn't probably the best motorsport era
No.
of the time.
Is that when minis were rolling around too?
No, that minis were 60s. Mate.
60s,
Yeah, a little
okay.
bit. A little bit.
Group C Mini.
Yeah.